down this TV here, and then we are going to go through what our conversation was with the Daily Bread Food Bank. Now, bear in mind that Mr. Kevin Clarke is a 7-time mayoral candidate, 10-time provincial, 5-time federal, brokered the largest children's rights case in Canadian history, the only person to face 3 levels of government simultaneously, and he has faced legends such as Bob Ray, Jack Layton, Michael Ford, Doug Ford, Rob Ford, Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland. And he placed ninth in the last fixed election for Toronto Mayor against John Tory, with spending $0, zero invitation to debates, and zero mainstream media exposure. He also ran a homeless hunger feed out every single month, going back nearly 20 years, or as every month where his health permitted, either panhandling, picking up empties, or getting help from friends. And he's been consistent in advocating for the needs of those who are homeless, hungry, and those who are living in poverty. So we first received an email April 25th, and this is from Mario Greco, who's my campaign manager, to and I am Mario Greco, co-campaign manager for the Mr. Kevin Clarke Toronto Mayoral campaign of 2023. I was made aware that the Daily Bread Food Bank, something went wrong, tap to retry. I was made aware that the Daily Bread Food Bank in Toronto is hosting a mayoral debate on date of May 15th. Can Mr. Clarke come? Can he be included in this debate? He's a former homeless man who dealt with the issue of poverty and addiction in Toronto firsthand, and I feel this presence would make a great contribution to the debate. Please let me know as soon as possible. Thank you, Mario Greco, campaign manager. Here's a reply from Holmar. And thank you for your interest in our mayoral debate and to Mr. Clarke running for public office. It is no easy task, and we commend him for stepping forward to serve our city. On Monday, May 15th, from 6:30 till 8:30 p.m., Daily Bread Food Bank and partner organization will be opening a kickoff mayoral debate on the theme on the theme of surviving to thriving, tackling Toronto's affordability crisis. The debate will be moderated by TV and radio host Maggie John and will take place at our headquarters at 191 New Toronto Street. So being a debate from 6:30 till 8:30, Mr. Clarke arrived around 8:45. So why is Mr. Clarke being attacked for walking up to the stage to confront other candidates who are members running for Toronto mayor? They're running for public office. This is a public debate. You say the debate goes from 6:30 till 8:30, but at 8:45, you are still denying other candidates who are more than qualified from speaking. That is a fixed debate. For participation criteria, we will be relying on polling data, and we are basing our participant criteria on guidelines set out by the federal leadership debate. What type of guidelines is that? You are a hunger service in the city of Toronto, and you are saying you're going to use guidelines from a federal election leaders debate? Daily Bread will to make its final decision and send formal invitation to the candidate that meet the participant criteria no later than May 1st, 2023, which is 2 weeks prior to the debate to give candidates adequate time to prepare. Questions, runoff shows, and debate format will also be shared with confirmed candidates. So you're saying only your confirmed candidates. Should you have any question and comment, please do not hesitate to reach out. So we are going down here. I apologize, my work is overflowing today, and it was sent in this format here, and I'm not too knowledgeable on using the down button on this new computer. Oh, it's acting by itself. Okay, so we go down here, and then there it is there. So, and then this is Mario to Omar. Hi, Mario. Hi, Omar. Thank you for your email response to our phone call last week. Would you know Mr. Kevin Clarke's status regarding his potential participation in the Daily Bread Food Bank mayoral debate on May 15th. I hope that Mr. Clarke experienced as a former homeless man living with a disability, being a person of color, and ranking in the top 10 through the past two mayoral elections in 2018 and 2022 has been considered by your VP in their decision. Please let us know at your earliest convenience. I'm Mario. On May 1st, we made our final confirmed recording candidate participating for the upcoming mayoral debate. Our approach was based on a federal leaders commission and utilizing the latest polls from Forum Research. So what you are saying, we then cross-reference that poll with the most recent mainstream research and liaison strategy poll. The polls were released last week, April 24th to May 1st. But the polls will tell you that Kevin Clarke is one of the top social activists in the city of Toronto for the past 30 years. So are you saying that because he didn't run for the federal leadership or because he was not connected with those who ran for the federal leadership, that there was no consideration given in a hunger debate? And then we go and we select the top six candidates that were polling consistently across the last three polls. The reason we choose six is because that is the maximum number that we felt could be accommodated to ensure that each candidate had time to speak and to answer questions from the moderator and the audience. Well, imagine if you had 2 minutes for each candidate and you invited 60 candidates. Would that not cover the 2 hour period? So you had 2 minutes for 1 minute for each candidate. You could have invited every candidate, but you didn't want every candidate involved, did you? Nevertheless, we recognize the limitation of polling and name recognition in politics, so we will be inviting all registered candidates to submit a 250-word statement about themselves and why they're running for office and their priorities, so the public can be aware of all the candidates that are on the ballot come June 26th. Please submit your blur and your research. This statement will be posted on the Daily Bread website on the day of the debate, Monday, May 15th, and will be up until the election of June 26th. So we'll check that. Let's move down here. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll down here. All right. This statement will be posted, so on and so on. And then I, Mario, thank you for your email. I, Omar, thank you for your email response. Although we appreciate you bringing our perspective to the attention of your VP and understand that that was not your decision, we are disappointed that the Daily Bread Food Bank organization decided not to include a candidate who has lived the tale through poverty and homelessness firsthand, despite that being the organization's focus to begin with. Nevertheless, we must respect this decision, and we appreciate the opportunity to submit a 250-word statement in which we will be sending to research at dailybread.ca by next week, Friday, May 12th. That said, would it be possible for Mr. Clarke and myself to visit the debate as attendees? I understand that the seating has unfortunately been booked out, but given that Mr. Clarke has placed in the top 10 in the past two mayoral elections, we hope that he can be squeezed in, allowing him an opportunity to perhaps speak with the members of the audience after the debate. Please let me know if this is possible. And then, regards, Mario Greco, campaign manager. Then we go down to, I see here, all right, yeah, hi Mario. We just released extra tickets so you can register to attend in person now. Hi Omar, wonderful. Thank you so much for letting us know. We'll be there. Okay, then we go down and then we go into the 250-word blare. Mr. Kevin Clarke is a former homeless man who ranked in the top 10 for the 2018-2022 mayoral election. Despite receiving zero media coverage, he is a 7-time mayoral candidate, 10-time provincial, 5-time federal. He is also the only person in Canadian history to face 3 levels of government simultaneously, in addition to to his political efforts, Mr. Clarke brokered the largest children's rights case in Canadian history in the murder, torture, abuse, and death of 7-year-old Caitlin Sampson, 7 years after her mother fought with the Premier of Ontario to find justice for her child. He also actively organized a monthly homeless hunger feed-out where he and a group of volunteers make sandwiches and gather fruits to deliver to those hungry in the streets. Mr. Clarke's platform centered around those most vulnerable in the city, namelessly the homeless, those struggling with addiction and mental health, and above all, the children. After all, every homeless person was once a child. Mr. Clarke Mr. Clarke naturally emphasized with the poor and easily connected with good-hearted people to innovate public solutions for all, not just a few. He planned to expand unobstructed, accessible shelter, opinion for the homeless, prioritize building affordable housing instead of luxury condo, improve TTC safety by what I do not know what happened here. Improve improve TTC safety by having first responders assist our lawyers, reduce the police budget to an appropriate sustainable level, provide free of charge bus rides in TCHC district, and promote city programs that foster child growth and parental involvement. So we go down there and we come down here to another one, Mark Saunders' decline invitation. And this is the connection now to show that the Daily Bread Food Bank was looking to influence this municipal election because you said you had space for 6 candidates. So if one candidate denied, that means you will have extra time that would be available. So you're going to have a short debate then. So Homar, I just noticed that Mark Saunders declined his invitation to tonight's debate. Would it be possible to have Mr. Kevin Clarke occupy the remaining 6th seat on the debate stage, given his first-hand experience with hunger and homelessness and his ranking in the top 10 of the last 2 mayoral elections? Please let me know as soon as possible. So as you can see, we made every attempt to to inform the Daily Bread Food Bank of our reputation, our qualification, and the services we have put forth to the people of the city of Toronto for over 30 years. But yet the Daily Bread Food Bank ignored the qualification of this candidate and what is going on? Ignore the qualification of, okay, get back to the screen, please. Get back to the screen, please. Back to the screen, Anna, please. Screen. I am on, please. I apologize. My campaign manager is also hooked up to my computer, so the screen is gone. So we're going to have to get back to the screen. No. No, I am doing a live video. I am doing a live video. I am doing a live YouTube video. I need to get honest. Need to get back to the screen I am on. Need to get back to the screen I am on. I am on. All right. So our video has ended. Unfortunately, my campaign manager logged on from his location. So I have lost the details on the Daily Bread email. So I will see if I can find it here. I cannot find it here. So we have to get back on it here. Okay, so here we are back on it. I just noticed that Mark Saunders declined his invitation to tonight's debate. Would it be possible that Mr. Kevin Clarke occupy the remaining 6 seats of the debate, given his first-hand experience with hunger and homelessness and his ranking in the top 10 or 10 round? Please let me know as soon as possible. So the debate is scheduled from 6:30 till 8:30. Mr. Clarke, Mr. Clarke arrived. Mr. Clarke arrived. Mr. Clarke arrived at 8:45, and he's on stage now with us. Turns out the other 5 candidates are there. And in turn, you would physically attack a Canadian citizen who is registered for public office, who placed in the top 10 in the last 2 elections. A man who has gone through poverty, homelessness, and hunger. But what makes this so atrocious is that these were security guards who physically assaulted Mr. Clarke because the debate was over at 8:30, as was stated in the statement here. And in turn, the Toronto police were present. So security guards where police are present don't have the right to physically attack someone for speaking. And as you can see, Mr. Clarke was not violent and was not aggressively or looked to impose any violence, because Mr. Clarke had his phone in one hand and a phone charger in the other. And you can see clearly where this security guard attacked Mr. Clarke physically. Listen to the words Mr. Clarke spoke. And in turn, he said, we are not going to fix an election. And even after the debate was done, because those 5 candidates were there, you did not wish no other candidate to confront them. So you're going to physically throw this candidate down and attack this candidate, somebody who has gone through poverty, homelessness, hunger, slept on the freezing cold on the streets, and with a degenerative back disc, who just traveled nearly 2 hours to get to Etobicoke to give the voice to the people. The Daily Bread Food Bank, they have some darn explaining to do. You're going to have to explain, why would you use a federal leadership criteria to determine who is worthy to speak on hunger and poverty? To God be the glory. Have a great day. We apologize for the interruption. My campaign manager was not aware that I was on a live video. Please share this message. Go ahead.